journey to big water. I do like how they start off this one because you could see some of the old characters, like Archie from the fourth one, and of course, Elsie. Pretty sure that's her. I do appreciate how a lot of the Land Before Time sequels, or the ones that come after this, try to keep the same dinosaur designs. They can do it for all the offstage characters, but they seem to have trouble doing it with the main characters. Isn't that odd? See, rainbow face still looks like a rainbow face, even though the legs look like frickin' Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Come dance, Nevic Hospitality, or come out my house, and I'll break your fucking legs, you little prick! You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking? Ow! What the?
So there are a lot of heavy rains and harsh natural disasters happening, but the Great Valley is supposed to be safe from all of this, until it's not.
When is all this sky water gonna stop, Grandpa?
I like how a tree, like the lightning hits the tree right next to Littlefoot and his grandparents. The tree erupts in fire and then falls. Nobody flinches. But unlike the previous movies, even though he's been exposed to lightning since he was a baby, the lightning just merely sounding in the distance sends him and his friends flying for the hills. I don't understand. They're all so stressed out thinking that the wind would never stop, and then it does.
Wow! The sky colors!
You know, sometimes I feel like they make up some of these names just for the sake of making up the names. You call each other dinosaurs. It's clear that you know what dinosaurs are. Why do you just not call it a rainbow? Or a bow of rain? Okay, that makes no sense. Also, I never got the concept of a rainbow. Even when I was growing up, I just still never understood it. It's supposed to symbolize like a promise from God in the sky for some religions, and the symbolism of it is, oh, it means that the storm is over and everything is gonna be okay, and it's God's promise that he'd never flood the earth again and all that jazz. But all I see from that, which lacks logic, is here's a whole bunch of natural disaster from a kick-ass storm that cost some of you death, cute little bow on top. It just seems so kind of insulting. Like someone just had a big ass dinner of you and your friends and family, and then they fart in the sky and that's what appears, and they're like, all right, I'm done now, I feel better. And everyone's supposed to be okay with it because the manifestation of the fart is pretty. Littlefoot wants to go play with his friends. His grandparents tell him to stay close by until they know what all the sky water has done. Everything's all flooded. So understandably, they don't want him going too far, but yet they don't even enforce that or watch him, knowing how easy it is for him and his friends to get in trouble. Here's another one of those scenes where they try to use 3D and it's like so unnecessary because it just looks weird. It's very jarring because Sarah's father's obviously two-dimensional and he's pushing this Windows XP 3D looking screensaver thing. Littlefoot comes by and he's like, Sarah, want to come play with me? Sarah's like, I'm kind of busy right now, Littlefoot.
Fell right on top of our sleeping place.
Sarah?
Sorry, Littlefoot.
Oh.
That is a heavy tree. Littlefoot did offer to help, but Mario lets him know, we don't need your help. Thanks a lot, Littlefoot, but we got it. And even in this close-up scene, for some reason, his horns are still in a ponytail. I'm trying very hard not to lose it here. Littlefoot goes around asking all his friends. Ducky, Spike, and their siblings and moms and whatever are all moving because of all the rainwater. Their home has become soggy, so they gotta move away from the bank. Petrie is sick and keeps sneezing, so Littlefoot's all bored and feels alone.
You have to be alone.
Maybe it's best that you be alone, Littlefoot. Sorry, I can't relate with him to this song, because I'd be so happy to play by myself. Seriously, are there no introverts in the group? Spike doesn't count.
Exploring, but
I really hate when Littlefoot does that. In every single movie, little things will just be minding their business, and then he scares the shit out of them by popping his face up all in their junk. Like, yo, what's up? My face is here, bro. Bitch, stop. I don't even know why I'm getting so mad. It's really freaking annoying, because I put myself in the animal's shoes. I'm just chilling. I want some quiet time, and this stupid-ass Longneck is just traipsing through the waters, and I'm like, you know what? I'll wait here. I'll wait till he passes. And then he stops, and I realize, shit, he stopped right by my door, right by my living room. Let me stay quiet, hoping he passes by. He doesn't. He doesn't. He just puts his head inside my house, and instead of being like, oh, my bad, let me leave, he just stares at me and continues singing with his dumbass, rank-ass breath in my face. The singing is so annoying. The song is not that bad, though. I feel like the songs in the earlier movies were better, and the quality just decreases as time goes on, but they're basically just singing about how bored they are, all of them.
Just for today, it's very, 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 almost extraordinary.
It's boring. All of them are bored. Petrie's sick. He has to stay home. Sarah has to help her dad move that tree, when I guess that takes like 6 hours to do. Spike and Ducky are having fun playing in the mud, but yet they're bored. And so we're supposed to relate to them. Me, as somebody who likes my alone time ever since I was a baby, really did not relate to that at all. Especially considering that Ducky and Spike had the least excuse because they were playing and having fun. So I don't understand.
Here, Littlefoot.
All right, did you decide to wear your wife's skin today? Gourmet, you're dark purple or lavender purple underneath. Your wife is vomit green, and yet for some reason you've changed. You know, I want to keep pointing it out. It's fucking like it's right there. It's right there. It's not far away. It's close up. You can see it.
Deliciously moist.
Thanks, Grandpa, but I don't want a tree star. I want to have some fun.
But Littlefoot.
But Grandma, you're naked. Where is your back stripe, bro? You good? Put on some frickin' clothes. You eggplant. Jesus. Damn, stop. His clothes are on. Like, what happened to you, bro? Were they in the middle of something and he had to remove her landing strip to dock? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, Gormo goes all David Attenborough and is like, or Richard Attenborough, whichever one. And he's like, look, you're never alone because there's so much life around you. Which is essentially the same thing as telling a depressed person, oh, don't worry. There's so much happiness around you. Just think about that whenever you're sad. Thanks. That helps. Gourmet is only trying to help, though, by changing Littlefoot's perception and saying that, you know, if you can't play with your friends today, you can explore. Littlefoot takes his grandpa's advice, and when he does, he sees big water. A huge lake has formed in the middle of the Great Valley that wasn't there before. He does a smart thing and brings his grandparents and the other adults there.
Here.
Oh, well then, who knows what terrible creatures it may have carried with it.
I am trying so hard to not let it bother me. This is one of the things that is so annoying. God, it's so annoying. I think they do it on purpose sometimes, just to see if people will notice. Sarah's father, his horns are in ponytail bands. And for those of you who are probably clueless, this little band right here at the base of his horn is supposed to be the same color as his skin. This is the skin that the horn is coming out of. This is not supposed to be the color of the horn. It's supposed to be this color. And you know it because when you look at his reflection is colored in properly. How you gonna color in the freaking reflection, but you don't color in the actual characters? Freaking, oh my spaghetti sauce, Jesus.
Sense more skywater is about to fall.
Gee.
So the girls basically tell Littlefoot, and we're going to tell the others, to stay away from the area because if this water came from the big water, meaning the ocean or the seas, stuff can be inside of it that's not very nice. It could have carried other creatures with it. Oh, I see what they did there. They literally just made... I accidentally landed on this frame. This is how lazy these people are. They just made the film negative. They didn't even say, you know what, let me light everything up. Let's just invert it and make it a negative photo when the lightning strikes. Wow. As more rainwater falls the next morning, Littlefoot wakes up early, and his grandfather's like, where you going, bitch? Where you going, homie? I'm gonna get some cupcakes, Grandpa. Okay, bring me back some. You got it. Grandpa! What the fuck's wrong with you? Littlefoot hears this weird noise, and it's another creature that has come from the big water. This character is one of the most annoying characters. I don't dislike him, but he is very annoying. His name is Mo.
Hey! Huh? Wow!
Ew. Anyway, I think that it would have been better if could they not have gotten, like, dolphin noises? I know it's an ichthyosaur or something like that, right? So could they have gotten dolphin noises to... I know it's not an actual dolphin, but that's what they're trying to make it look like. Something that looks like a dolphin. That's what the animal looked like. I get it. Make it have trilling noises instead of a person going, oh, it sounds so stupid. Just give it animal noises. It's like Chomper, even though I could forgive Chomper when he was a baby, it's like them making the stupid noises for him, and he's like, and it's like, when I grew older, I was like, damn, that sounds so annoying. Like, I understood back then it was totally normal because he couldn't talk, but then you watch over the movies, and he sounds like somebody. Imagine hearing Chomper talk, and it's like behind a toilet or something, one of those public toilets with the door closed, and you hear somebody talking like that. I watched this over and it still makes no sense to me. You made to tell me. I mean, all this time, they were chasing after these things, and they hesitated and chose not to kill him. And they only realized it was their son when he roared. You were searching for your baby all this time, you tracked his scent, and you didn't realize he was right in front of you until he made the sound? Seriously? It took that for you to realize that he was your child? Not the fact that he's speaking your language, not the fact that he looks like you or smells like the very thing you've been tracking, but whatever.
He made his next swim again, you shit fuck!
Sarah and the others try to find Littlefoot, and Petrie thinks that Littlefoot's probably mad at them because they didn't play with him, and Sarah's like, it's not our fault. We had shit to do. Our parents wouldn't let us.
Plenty of water. Petrie, Littlefoot is not a swimmer. And you are not a swimmer either.
So, Petrie can swim, though. We've seen him swim. We've seen him swim in deep water, playing in the water with his friends, but he's drowning in shallow water. That's why your eye's not colored in, Petrie. Littlefoot's friends find him, and he tells them about his new friend. Ew, no. So they all think that Littlefoot's friend is imaginary, and Petrie and everybody else talks about their imaginary friends, except for Sarah.
Why would you want an imaginary friend? I think it just sounds dumb.
Sarah, that's an ESTJ for you. And I'm sorry, get this shit off the internet. Littlefoot is not an INFP. He is totally 100% an extrovert. He can't stand being alone or by himself, the complete opposite of what INFPs are. He always wants to be around his friends and doesn't require any downtime away from them. Definitely not an INFP. He's an ENFP or an ENFJ, but we don't claim that shit. That is so far from what an INFP is. Just goes to show how many people don't understand us. He's also freaking clueless when it comes to social situations when he's caused people pain and has been very annoying. We're really hyper aware of that stuff. Miss me with that Longneck.
Not really there. You're just talking to the air. How can nobody be any fun?
And Sarah has a point there. From her personality, from her mindset, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, why would you have a friend that's not even there? Especially when you have real friends, it makes no freaking sense. It's so nonsensical to her that it makes her mad. And I completely understand where she's coming from, because even though I have imaginary friends, and I know why I have them, because they're fun, for someone who's very pragmatic, it's a waste of time, and it makes us look like we're nuts. And I guess we are a little bit. So then they meet Mo for real. And Mo's like, yay, friends. He tells them about what happened to Big Water. He got sucked in a whirlpool. And
all the sky water must have washed him over from the mysterious beyond.
so the idea is to get him back home. But first, there's gotta be a Sharptooth. Always gotta be a Sharptooth in these movies. It's horrible and wants to eat everyone and kill everyone because that's their main MO. Sharptooth can't want to get back home to its children. Sharptooth might not be hungry at that moment in time and just ignores them as a normal animal would do, like the lions do the zebras on the Serengeti when they've just had a meal. No, Sharptooth's always gotta be chasing after the kids because it's just irresistible. Mo tries to warn his friends that this underwater Sharptooth is coming. I don't understand why Mo can just tell them, hey, Ron, you can speak when convenient, but when it's really necessary, you flap around and talk in your fish ichthy language that you know they can't understand when it's important for them to understand you. Why does he look like a deep dish pizza without the crust? I don't know why that puts me in mind of that. Mosasaurus. I'm not saying that is a Mosasaurus. It's just like the scene from the Mosasaurus. They do the very thing that they usually are supposed to do. They go to the grown-ups and try to tell them that, hey, we've got a friend that's stuck here and he needs to get home. But they don't listen.
No, Mr. Three-Horn, there's no need to be so gruff. Littlefoot was just asking, and there's no harm in that. I'm sorry, Littlefoot, but... Littlefoot?
Nobody saw them leave, really? Y'all are bad at watching your kids, seriously. Of all of you that are sitting there, a whole group of them walk away and take a while to walk away. It's not like leaves are right there they can disappear in and you don't see them. They go back to Mo and decide, you know what, we're gonna help him anyway. And then the earth splits open. I know it sounds hella random and I love telling the story like this, but that's literally what happens. They're walking back to the lake to go see Mo, and the earth splits open. But
how will we get home?
See, something always has to happen. Chasm, landslide, rock slide, something always has to prevent them from going home the normal way. At this point, it's a running gag and it's getting a bit old. Littlefoot finds Mo and says, you know what? We gotta help you anyway, because we have to go the long way around, so we can help you go home.
Maybe we can find a new way home by going that way.
The way to the big water. And you know what happens? They have a plan. And they ask Petrie to use his advantage. Oh my word! They're on a roll now.
Petrie, you fly around and see if there's any water paths that lead to the big water.
Okay. Me find water paths to big water and be big hero.
It is so refreshing to see Petrie actually freaking fly. I do also like that they show obstacles that Petrie has to go through, like the updrafts from mountains and the air catching him at odd angles, him falling out of the sky when he loses his balance. But then before he crashes, he levels himself out like a normal flyer. That way you can show, hey, Petrie can fly, but he's not as strong a flyer as the adults. Instead of just have him never using his flying ability at all. Thank you, Land Before Time 9. Thank you for putting Petrie's ass on the right way. To make the journey nicer, he imagines his sharp-toothed imaginary friend with no teeth. That's so cruel. Like, your imaginary friend is just a sharp tooth. Maybe I want to know the backstory behind Petrie's imaginary friend. In his world or his mind, did he meet that sharp tooth because it had no teeth and it was an exile from its family and that's how they became friends? And then how did it get its wings? He just added them for convenience, but I want to know the backstory behind that. It looks like Puff the Magic Dragon. Is Puff the Magic Dragon a real dragon? Like, I know dragons aren't real like in our world, but some people are saying, no, it's not about a dragon. It's about smoking a pipe. I'm like, no, it's not. It's about a boy and his dragon. And I really would like to know the story behind that because I feel like they were just pulling my leg. So if any of you know the actual story about Puff the Magic Dragon, please let me know.
This and Mo that. Hey!
Fun!
Littlefoot, would you please tell your mud brother that...
See, Sarah's a little bit jealous because Littlefoot's friends with Mo, and she thinks that Mo is a better friend to Littlefoot because he's more fun. So Sarah naturally doesn't like him, and Sarah is so amazing. She's like the best friend ever. However, she doesn't like new people, especially if they threaten her friendship with her friends that she has. She can get very protective. And that's how she is in my stories too. So it's really interesting how she's so true to form here. Mo doesn't know when not to have fun, but he does one joke too many. When they come upon an obstacle where Mo cannot swim over, they try to find a way for him to swim under. And the ducky sees that he's stuck. So she tells him, Mo's stuck, he's stuck down there. And Spike jumps in down to save him. So do the others. And I point that out because I'll tell you in a little bit. For those of you who've watched my previous videos, you know exactly where I'm going with this. You know me. Mo comes up and he's like, hee hee guys, what's up? Like, it's just a prank, bro. Don't know how he wouldn't have seen all of them swimming past him on the way up. And they all come up. Littlefoot's happy Mo's okay, but everyone's kind of mad. Now let's go back. Let's go back, shall we? I know what y'all are probably going to say, and notice, I do like the attention to detail here, because when Ducky's in the water, apparently her hands are webbed. Never seen that before. Very convenient. Whatever. She tells him that, hey, Mo is in trouble. Those web fingers, though. They never showed them before. Now they show them here. Like, they just swell up and extend when she's in the water or goes into swimming mode. Whatever. So she's like, guys, Mo's drowning, right? Check this.
Now pull him out.
You know how Spike is the first one? Spike is the first one to jump into the water. Do you notice that? Spike swam out on his own. Did you notice that?
You are not swimmers.
Ducky says they're not swimmers, but they're swimming. Petrie! Sorry, I don't know why I'm yelling. Petrie dove into the water. Did you notice? This is what drives me insane with the inconsistencies. Because Petrie and Spike dove into the water. Y'all thought I was crazy whenever I say this, but there's a reason why I said that. Just in this movie alone, Petrie was drowning in shallow water. Do you remember? I will show you that clip again shortly, but he dove into water that is very deep to try and save Mo, and he wasn't drowning, and he got out on his own. Let's go back to that clip, shall we? Where he was drowning in shallow water.
Water?
Petrie, Littlefoot is not a swimmer. And you are not a swimmer either.
All right, notice how Spike had jumped into the water and he swam out? Yeah.
Swimmer, he is not. No, no, no.
One thing I also wanted to point out before I continue, I love the part where Ducky is like having a tantrum and her mom calls her out on it.
Over, watch it. Mama!
Oh, Ducky, just swim, dear.
She didn't get attention. Notice also in all the other movies, no webbed fingers. Okay, so I love it, because everyone thinks I'm nuts, and I am nuts, but I'm not nuts about this. Hear what they say in the previous movie, in Land Before Time 8. I don't want to hear, oh, maybe they taught Spike to swim. No, they made it a point to say in this specific movie that Spike Tails cannot swim. Spike Tails in general.
Spike, the water's deeper there. Spike cannot swim.
Somebody help him quickly.
Interesting. It's not frigid water, it's warm water. Spike can't swim. They made a point to say that, and say that Spike Tails cannot swim.
Stuck to it, I cannot pull him out. No, guys, you are not swimmers.
Do you see where I'm coming from now? Okay. Littlefoot and his friends have been walking for a long time, and they show the progression of their journey of how tired they are, and how Mo has more energy than all of them. They discover that Mo can talk to crickets, which is very horrifying, that scene. They meet a Longneck mother who looks like she's about to kill them. Yo, that scene right there is so freaking scary. I do love that, and I actually thought that she was gonna be a problem. I would love it and respect it so much if one of the Land Before Time movies actually went there and decided, you know what, I'm gonna make a freaking sauropod the villain. Make her chase him. Make it an angry mother sauropod who's sick and mentally ill and doesn't understand what's going on. Have her go after Littlefoot and his friends.
Which is why we'd better get out of here. The mama of these eggs might not be too...
That Jurassic Park music in the background, though. And then the way that they shot the scene, so excellently done. I wish it could have gone a different way.
Friendly? Oh, no, no, no.
Of course, she turns out to be a super nice person with like a super Miss Nancy next door voice. And it's just like, everything's okay now. They ask if they could sleep with her for the night.
Discovered and dreams.
Jesus Christ. The next morning, they go on their way and they all play with Mo. Sarah feels a little bit better about being friends with Mo. Unfortunately, that predator is still on the prowl. This scene right here is also terrifying. I wish they would keep the predator terrifying. The design for the creature is terrifying, the way it moves is terrifying, and then later on, you don't really take it seriously. That's scary. The group ends up fighting for their life. And this is honestly a very good scene right here. I would say this would make a good cover for the movie. Littlefoot slides back down and this thing is grabbing onto them. I love how they do this. Like, this whole scene right here kind of reminds me of the first movie. Of course, nothing comes close to it, but this does a very good job setting up the scene of making it look scary. Then they have to ruin it. They go inside the log to hide from it, and then they're speaking mad loud.
It's sure quiet out there.
Well, why don't you stay quiet in here so it doesn't hear you, you buffoon? Why does Petrie look so extra small right now? Like, there's some times where he's like as big as Littlefoot's head or as Sarah's, and then he just shrinks like 3 times his size or a third his size. The creature assails them, and Mo decides, you know what? I'm gonna help my friends. Mo distracts it and leads it away. The creature gives chase. The next day, the friends are sad because they think that Mo is gone. Poor Littlefoot, having just made this friend and then he died. This is the part where Sarah confesses that she was jealous of Mo and she didn't actually not like him.
I am? Ah, then
I can be fun too.
what was I all jealous for? Beats me. And Sarah, you especially should not have been jealous of Mo's singing. It was not good.
Then they hear Mo singing on cue. When they go back, Mo is in the log, and he had stayed there, protected from the creature. He tells them later that the creature found its way to big water, and it's like, oh, I'm home now, let me just go. They find the place where the rest of the river and lakes meet with the big water. Mo sees his family, and he's reunited. They make a show of them communicating with other members of their kind, asking them what's a great way to go to the Great Valley from where they are, or the quickest way, and then they get the echolocation back. And I like how they do that. It's kind of silly how they did it. They had to add that in for the purpose of, look guys, these guys are like dolphins and they can echolocate. But it was interesting to see them actually put that in effect, them waiting, them sending out the call, and then waiting for the reply. So they tell Littlefoot and his friends, yep, that's the way over there, that's the way you go. Mo shows Littlefoot where he lives, and Littlefoot is in awe. He's never seen under the ocean this close before. It's beautiful. Littlefoot slips, and he gets a closer look at the bottom, and the way he freaking sinks, man, lets you know how dense he is. Seeing this young Apatosaurus swim through the ocean is kind of cool, because it's not something you always see portrayed. What in the shit? No! 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 He's probably never seen something like this. He's probably thinking this turtle has no shell, its neck is too long, it's swimming right up to me and staring at me. I'm out, dude. Oh my god, I love it.
There they are! Littlefoot, are you alright?
Don't worry, I'm fine. It was amazing, guys.
It would have been so funny if Mo was like, come down and see my room. Now you're never gonna leave. And he just lets Littlefoot stay there, and Littlefoot's like, I need air. And he's like, no, you know, you're good. And then his friends never see him again. They never see Mo. Mo just stays underwater and goes somewhere far away. And Littlefoot just like floats up to the top. They see Littlefoot's belly sizzling in the sun a few yards away. And they smell him before they... I'm sorry. I don't know why I went there with it. I always think it's an alternate universe what would have happened. All the deaths that Littlefoot and his friends would experience, and it's just so freaking comical. And then, and then Sarah and Ducky and them have to tell his grandparents. Like, how would you tell them a story? You're like, you go home and you're like, gourmet Migor. Littlefoot's dead. What happened? Well, you see, he went in the ocean. Oh my god. I don't know why it's so funny, but it's hilarious. And then Gourmet's gonna feel guilty because he's like, oh no. I told Littlefoot to be interested in wildlife. Oh god, this was fun. So anyway, none of that happened. Littlefoot made it back home, and they're back at the Great Valley, which is kind of like a callback, this scene, to the first movie when they had found the Great Valley. Everyone's happy to see them. He never gets in trouble. Sarah's father's horns are colored in the right way. It's becoming a rare sight, and the water sparkles like extra bright, giving us freaking seizures, and it ends. This was one of those throwaway movies where the animation was a little bit better, but the movie itself was kind of still sucky, but I could see where they were going, and it was a different way of looking at things, looking at wildlife, looking at under the ocean, and I like how they try to give us different situations. It's just, man, I just went in a whole different place with it. I love going to the dark places. Like, what would have happened if Littlefoot and his friends got ripped apart, you know? I just think it would have been so much more interesting had another sauropod been going after them rather than just another water shark-toothed creature. But of course, it's also a prehistoric creature we've not seen front and center before, so they have to show those because, you know, people like sharp teeth and mosasaurs, and we gotta give them their time to shine, and that was what that was about. This is a random doodle I did. It's an original character that I'm dubbing Daddy Dorset. He's a pole ram that every female wants a piece of. He's grown so accustomed to everyone fawning over his looks, and even though he is considered an elderly ram, he is still quite the catch to many of the animals on the farm. Yes, I said many of the animals, because the adventures that happen on his farm are... yeah, so anyway. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, me answer.